Okay, so it's day 3 of the fast. We're almost there. We're almost to the finish line. We've made it through day 2, which they say is the hardest and toughest day. And this time, I think yes, day 2 is the hardest. It's like you got to get over that hump, and your body is starting to really, really hone in on burning fats, and you are really getting to the peak. You're about to get to the peak of autophagy, or that recycling process. So your body is working and your hunger is still there. So I think day 2 is the toughest day. All right. So day 3, we're so anxious to eat, but we've planned our meals. We've planned our meals. We already have the groceries and everything, so we are ready. We're ready. We're not stopping at Food Sackley's, even though it smells so good. We're not gonna tempt ourselves with a donut or anything. We're not. We're not gonna do it. So third day was actually a Saturday, and usually we like to, take the kids somewhere on Saturday, especially if it's a nice, beautiful day. We want to get them somewhere so that they can just run off all that energy. So I get up, around the same time, around 8:30ish, and fix them breakfast. So nice breakfast. They didn't eat all their food, and usually I pick off their food, but I didn't. So they didn't eat all the breakfast, but I cleaned them up and we get ready to go to a children's museum that we wanted to take them in. Make sure you check out my second channel. I'm gonna put it up here on the screen somewhere, but it's a kids channel. Make sure you check it out, subscribe, like it, share it. It will help us out a lot. But we take them there and we have so much fun. But I take and but so I just want to mention, before we go, my husband and I, we both take our socks because we know we're going to need it. We're going to be there. We're not going to overdo it at the children's museum. So, because it's not, like a trampoline place where it's a lot of running around. So we kind of plan that, we know that we're going to be burning energy because we're going to be trying to walk to each exhibit with the kids, and they're going to be like, whoa. So we know we're gonna expend some energy. So we take our salts before we hit the road, and I also pack us some salts as well before we hit the roads. And we have water and snacks for the kids, everything. So we are ready. All right. So we get there, they have a great time, and we're feeling like, oh, we need some water. We need some water. So as soon as we get to the car, we drink our water, drink our salts, because my leg is starting to cramp. When I'm in the car, I'm getting these muscle cramps, and I'm getting some nerve pain. So I know I need my salts. So as soon as I take my salts, I feel much, much better. So by the time we get home, it's only a few hours, maybe less than 2 hours, until we get to eat and refeed. So we get the kids lunch on the road. And that's another thing too, when you're out and about, especially for us. I don't know about anybody else, but when we're out and about, especially if we're in a new city, we like to try different foods. I don't know, but that's what I like to do. I like to try different foods, especially if we're going into a new place. And this time we couldn't explore because we couldn't eat anything. So what else is there to do? So we did what we had to do with the children's museum and went straight home. After getting them lunch, of course, but then we went home. So anyway, after that, we're counting down. 6 o'clock. Oh my goodness. Yes. And usually my first meal, especially when I did it the first time, the first 72-hour fast, I usually break my fast with coffee and butter. I use the fat to help to maintain ketosis, or fat burning state. But this time, because the fast ends at 6, I was not drinking coffee because I am very caffeine sensitive, and I was not going to be staying up all night long. So I wanted to do avocados. I wanted to start with avocado, but I forgot to get it, and then I wasn't stopping at the store. I wasn't stopping at the store anymore. So we had eggs on hand. So I started with eggs, but I did it slowly because some say that eggs are, even though they're good fats and it's a good way to start with eggs, however, eggs can take a while to digest, and so you may get some symptoms with that, maybe upset stomach. So what I did was just take it slow. I had two boiled eggs and I just took it slow. I took small bites, ate it very slowly. And then after 30, I waited 30 minutes. I actually waited more because after I did my first meal, I did the last live or on Facebook. I did the last live on Facebook and YouTube. So make sure you check those out. And then, so it was about an hour, a little over an hour that I waited. And that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take that first small meal, usually starting with fats, and then you wait 30 minutes plus and take your second meal. And then usually the second meal is to feed your gut. Your gut has been repaired and recycled, so now it needs replenishing. It needs to replenish that healthy bacteria. So what you do is replenish it with fermented foods. We had some sauerkraut on hand. And then what I did for my second meal after I finished the live was I had some sausage with sauerkraut and some onions and peppers. Oh, magnifique. Delicious, okay? It felt delicious. It tasted delicious. So I did that, fed the gut, and then after that, after you feed your gut, they recommend that you also feed the bacteria of the gut with fibrous foods. So because it was, very close to my bedtime, I did not do the fiber until the next day. So, but after that, I felt so good and I'm going to show you the pictures of the before and after. Okay. So I'm going to show you the before and after photos that I took. And remember, before we started, make sure you're taking those before and after photos because it's nothing like seeing it in person. You can feel a certain way, your clothes, the scale can look a certain way, but, to see it visually kind of compare before and after really, really helps you to get a clear picture of what's going on. So with fasting, oh my goodness, it just so many awesome benefits. I was so bloated, I was just bloated. And after the fast, I felt so deflated. I felt so light. My bloating was gone. My mind was clear. It was sharper. I felt just so healthy. It's just it's such a good way to just have a reset, and have your body to just rest, rest from eating all this stuff. I heard a doctor on YouTube say that, just like you take your car in for maintenance, every 3 to 6 months, you should do that for your body. It's a maintenance. If you want it to last long. And so that's what fasting is. It's just maintaining your body, maintaining a healthy environment, internal environment for your body. So that's what it did to me. I felt so great and I continue to feel great. So total, I lost from 3 days, I lost 5 pounds. 5 pounds in 3 days. My goodness. And then even after that, after the 3, I lost an additional 2 pounds. So I lost total 7 pounds. So I'm down total 7 pounds. I mean, amazing. And like I said on my lives, this really have challenged me to think about my relationship with food. Should I eat that? What about this? How is that going to affect, my gut? How is that going to affect my arteries, my liver, my brain, do I need all that sugar? I am a sweetie. I love sweets. Okay. And my thing is now I have to find ways to enjoy sweets in a healthier way because I like sweets more. Like I like a lot of sweets. So instead of buying those processed foods on the shelf, I've been, rejected those processed foods because something is just once you have baked homemade goods, there is just nothing else like it. I don't like anything else processed. I don't want any little Debbie's. I don't want any of that. I want something fresh and baked. But even with that, it comes with a lot of sugar. So you have to be careful with those things and a lot of processed or refined grains. So you have to be careful. So, it's not going to be 100% perfect because of what's being put into foods and what you have available to you. However, just try to come as close as you possibly can and what you can afford to live and maintain a healthy life. And that's what I try to do when I'm baking goods. I try to make sure I'm using quality ingredients and also things that won't increase, my blood sugar and all those things. So, every once in a while you may have a donut and that's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So, but just making sure that that doesn't become habitual for you and that if you do take in a lot of these harmful things, that you give your body time to detoxify all that by fasting. Well, thank you guys for tuning in to my 3-day fast. What I did the entire 3-day fast. If you're seeing this video and you haven't seen the first 2 days, make sure you check those out. Make sure you check out my other videos on my channel about fasting and let me know in the comments what you think. Thank you once again for tuning in and listening. Love you guys. Bye.